Hey y'all, it's Kelly Clarkson with Wayfair, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. Picture this. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app when you spot it. A brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's room of choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Is learning to write a process you can improve? Stay tuned to find out.
Welcome.
Okay, here's the question.
You serious?
How are we dark horses? You know, the ones everyone is betting against, the ones they don't expect to win, place, or even show on the track, and they'll even laugh on us when we talk about trying. How do we show the world our greatness and triumph?
Come on.
Well, that's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers.
Let's go.
This is The Dark Horse Entrepreneur. My name is Tracy Brinkman.
And push it out.
What is up? What is up, my dark horse friends and family? Welcome back to your daily dose of writing well learning. I'm your dark horse host, Tracy Brinkman, and you? Well, that, my friends, is infinitely more important. You are a driven entrepreneur or one in the making. Either way, you're here because you're ready to start, restart, kickstart, or just start leveling up with some great marketing, personal, or business tips and results in order to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it absolutely deserves to be. And that's why I'm here hitting you with yet another daily success episode coming to you straight from the Dark Horse HQ as we dive deep into success with actionable advice, tips, and steps designed to help you level up, because as we already know, there are no shortcuts to success except for taking those little steps towards your goal every single day. Now, before we get kicked off on today's episode about writing, if you're getting any value out of the Dark Horse Entrepreneur, do me a favor and go on down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're there, leave us a 5-star rating and drop us some kind words in the review. Heck, go ahead and drop us some words of constructive criticism. Always looking to grow. Like to hear what you think. These subscribes, rating, reviews tell the podcast platforms to lift us up a little bit higher in the rankings so that we can reach more entrepreneurs just like yourself. So if you're getting value, take a moment, show the love, and help spread the word. I appreciate you. Thanks so much. I know I'm spending a few episodes on writing, but I figured after the Colonel's great interview and information about how we can improve our writing skills, it just seemed like a great topic to cover a bit more in depth than just her half-hour chat with us. And there's a lot of arenas where we can play here, because if I think back to when I first started playing on the internet, and gosh, I started back in the late 90s, and by the early 2000s had built a decent little email list with my newsletters and the content I was putting out. And back then, it was all about pushing out more content, right? The search engines were looking for pieces of content. The algorithms were a whole lot easier to deal with. The goal was the more content, the better. I remember writing article after article after article, and doing things like publishing it, on my website, out to my newsletters, guest blogging for other websites, as well as putting it out in places like e-zine articles and what have you. So back then, again, the goal was more content. More content was better. More content equaled better rankings equaled stronger profits. So more content equaled more profit. It was a pretty simple formula back then. So you were just pumping out content and content. I remember writing an article one time and thinking, I can turn this into 3 sub-articles. By the way, I had come up with some tips, and I'm like, I could break this down into 3 articles. So it ended up being 4, right? One that was the full content piece, and then I broke it down into each one of the individual tips to stand alone. And there, I had 4 pieces of content out of one article. It was pretty awesome. But, I think consumers and the algorithms and the web has grown since then, right? It's like it was a youngster, and just getting everything possible was good back then. Nowadays, years, decades, I'm going to date myself here. Things have grown, and quality content is what's needed for our digital space. Quality becomes everything, right? The game is a little more challenging. You have to create engaging content that reads as if it was written, for some of the world's best magazines, for some great news broadcasting station or something like that. And you still wanted to get it to rank in the search engine. So I've covered a bit of the, SEO factors in the episodes this week. So let's talk about how you can improve your writing today. And the first and the easiest one is create a distraction-free space and time, right? Whether it's, like I do when I get up in the morning, hang out with my wife for a bit, pound down some oatmeal, kind of get ready for the day. And then I'll come up here into my little podcasting space. And it's just my space. It's not just my space, but it's my time for this hour or two. No one comes in, no one bothers me unless something important is going on in our household. They know that, hey, he's doing his thing, let him roll. So you want to have that distraction-free space and time, and definitely will improve your writing ability. But let's take that one step further and remind you that the distractions don't just come from, your spouse or your children or your animals. There's that damn thing called social media, right? You might be writing for that very thing. You're gonna have to turn those notifications off. Heck, go ahead and turn the phone off itself. Or if you don't want to turn it off, leave it somewhere else. Don't bring it with you into your distraction-free space, right? And then, declutter your environment. There's always the mental factor that comes with that. Declutter your thoughts, right? Get yourself into the habit that this is my space for doing my writing. That would definitely help declutter your thoughts. And it's sometimes for me, the way to declutter my thoughts is to write down the things I know I need to get done today. That way my mind isn't trying to remind me of them as I go into opportunities like this to share, write, or in this case, podcast. And that rolls right into, when's your peak hours? For me, I'm really good in the AM. Right? So I'm in here right now. It's 5:08 in the morning. Already got my breakfast down, got my lunch made for the day, right? I've had a little hangout time with the missus and the daughter. So my peak times are earlier in the day. What are yours, right? Are you better in the AM? Some people are like, oh my God, how do you do it? How do you get up at 3:30 in the morning and still function? Well, that's how I work. That's how I roll. It's my body works. It's been like that my entire life, coming from a military family. Now, perhaps you're better later in the AM, or perhaps you're better in the afternoon. Or I know some folks that they hit their stride, after 3 p.m. in the day. I don't understand it just as much as they don't understand me getting up at 3:30 in the AM. But, find out what your peak creative hours are and work your creativity into those hours. Don't try and buck the odds, right? Try and get yourself into that flow, into that creative space. Distraction-free space I just told you about at your peak time. Okay, we got ourselves a distraction-free space. We're in there at our peak time. Now it's all about maintaining focus, right? You get in there when you're writing, whatever you're writing, a blog, a page, an article, a book, a podcast episode. Maintain your focus so your writing won't get confused, right? Don't stop and go and stop and go and, start writing, get to a break point and then go check your phone. Let me check my messages. I've been being distraction free for a few minutes. Then you come back, that thing's still kind of wiggling around in your head, and you start writing, and now almost it's as if the voice of your writing has changed, right? Readers will become distracted by the slightest bit of confusion, and they will bail on you. They'll click and go somewhere else. There's so many other places they could get the same information you're probably sharing. And let's take that one step further and stay focused on the topic, right? Don't drift and wander off to the left, wander off to the right, and get into dreary land. Stay focused on the topic that you put in the title. So for instance, if I were to all of a sudden go off on this horrible rant about affiliate marketing when my title is all about improving your writing, you know what that's going to create? a horrible, horrible bounce rate. Yeah. All right. And I think one of the ways you can help maintain that focus is to create yourself an outline first. An outline can simplify the writing process and really help you organize things like your thoughts. I think one of the best ways to describe this particular point is if you think about you get into your car and you're heading to some show, right? And you haven't been to this place before, so you pop in the address, the destination, where you want to take your audience. And the GPS says, okay, here's the way to go. Go this way, then go left, go this way, then go right. It kind of lays it out before you. You can scale back where you can see. I know I do. Scale back where you can see the entire trip, right? It gives you the turn-by-turn direction. Well, it's the same thing. The outline will give you kind of a turn-by-turn. You haven't seen the details yet. You're not writing the details yet, but you know how you're going to take them through the content you want to share. And I think the last one I want to leave you with here today is use your active voice, right? The dog was walked by Tracy, or Tracy was walking his dog. Which one sounds better? Right? I mean, you think about it. The one that'll sound better is the one that sounds more clear, right? And the one that's usually sounding more clear is your active voice. So you want to use the active voice as much as possible. And then, bring them in with a few stories. Use the GPS example I talked about earlier. Sharing when I started back in the 90s earlier, bring in some stories. Again, in that active voice. I wasn't always telling you, last year and all those years before. No, I took you there, and then I told the story about going forward. And I gave you the GPS, and I was sharing with you, hey, this is how it happens. You put in the GPS, and you go forward. You don't say, you don't use that passive voice. Now, there's nothing wrong with using a passive voice, but you want to use it wisely. And when I say use it wisely, maybe use it wisely to make a specific point or change the rhythm of whatever it is you're writing or talking about. All right, there's some tips to get you started. I've got a number more that I'll share with you tomorrow. So be sure to come on back and check out tomorrow's episode. Now, I know you want to keep getting all these daily success episodes that it's me. I keep dropping here for you. So like I mentioned earlier, go on down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're there, drop us a 5-star rating and leave us some kind words in the review. If you're getting any value out of these podcasts, these ratings, reviews, and subscribes, tell the podcast platforms to raise us up there so we can reach more driven entrepreneurs just like yourself. So if you're getting value, take some time, show the love, and help us spread the word. And then come on over and join us in the Facebook group, right? Go to facebook.com, and then in that search bar, type Dark Horse Tribe. You should see us right there at the top. Come on in and hang out with myself and a number of other driven entrepreneurs, asking questions, sharing advice, and just sometimes shooting the breeze. If you can't seem to find us that way, you can go to your favorite web browser, type in darkhorseschooling.com/Dark Horse Tribe. That will definitely take you right there. I look forward to meeting you in the group. All right, you get out there. You run your race. You get your results. Come on over to the Facebook group and tell me all about them. I'll help celebrate with you. Until next time, I'm going to leave you as I always do. Think successfully and take action.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in.
Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.